So the beta demo for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 just came out and we got a chance to play it, and I thought I'd give you guys an impressions of what I think exactly of this game. I've got some gameplay playing up right now as well, so I thought you might enjoy some of the stuff that I was playing with my Frieza race guy named Misuto. It's a character name that I always have of my characters, and let's just go straight into what I think about the game. Now, definitely for the start is that the visuals and alongside with like anime cutscenes, it definitely looks visually pleasing. I think it actually, like, they've improved it. It looks a little bit better than it actually did on its previous Xenoverse 1 game, and the fact that they've really overhauled a couple of things that especially I like, and the first one is that we're going to be getting into is the hub world. Oh my god, I absolutely love what they've done to this hub world now, because now you don't have to, like, at the start of the game search for everything and all that without a single bloody map, knowing everything. You've got everything else on that map showing you where you need to go to the next point. It's really useful, definitely a lot bigger, a lot more expansive, feels a lot more alive than the Xenoverse 1 world. And adding into the fact that to even get faster around there, you can fly, you can also use these weird little like saucer things, and I think you can use some other stuff on there, like you can use the clouds, you can use like the power pole, like all this kind of weird stuff and all that they're adding into the game. Now, they didn't have too much of the story available for the game. You could only go up to the Saiyan Saga and do a couple of missions. It's like a training mission, and then you have one big one with the Saiyans where you got to fight against Nappa and Vegeta. You got to fight them normally in their like normal Saiyan forms, and then you had to fight in their massive Uzaru forms. And this was a part that actually, I feel that's actually had a few difficulty. I think it was because I didn't put any of my stuff into my boost attributes, but I actually had quite a hard time. But once you utilizing the whole thing of grabbing their tails, it was really enjoyable, and I actually had it. There were some fun little things they added into this game alongside with the story. Is that the fact if you had your character from Xenoverse 1, he actually becomes a part of the story, which it seems like. So I was very happy to have my Boo guy come into the story from there. Now, talking about gameplay improvements, now the fact that we're so very early onto the game, it feels a tiny, and I just mean the tiniest bit faster, like from what I felt like in the game. I felt like it was a little tiny of a difference, but then again, I didn't feel too much to say where it's like this feels like, oh my god, a huge change, like, you know, it's a completely different new game. It didn't feel like too much has changed. One thing that is definitely for the Frieza race that was a huge change to them is that they can now go golden form like Frieza can in Resurrection of F, and the Saiyans can go into Super Saiyan 3. I believe that the humans are allowed to bring in like kind of like the Nimbus Cloud, and I think the Namekians are able to go like super like large form, kind of like what Lord Slug So I ended up playing the online alongside with some of the parallel quests with a couple of friends, and definitely the online works very well. That was one thing to say. The only legit problems I had throughout playing this game is that it had incredibly poor like loading times. Now this is a beta, so it probably isn't properly optimized. This is probably a very early build of the game. Things can actually change later on, but the game is going to be coming out in about 2 weeks time from now, so I can actually see if there's going to be some issues and all that if this is actually the case. Plus, like, even though like this was like the first day of the beta coming out, there was a lot of issues of DCing and a lot of like not being able to access the game, and hopefully none of this will be actually coming into the future. Now, I have to remind you, we did have problems during the first Xenoverse where we did have some problems with logging in, so I hope that's not the case. Just that though, like, I generally think from what we're seeing of like a little tiny bit of the game, they're definitely with the story, it definitely feels like a continuation from Xenoverse 1, which is a nice thing. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, everything that you did in Xenoverse 1 was worth it. But then again, like, it does look a lot like the rinse and repeat of Xenoverse 1, so I think generally people might really get tired of the formula, and I honestly hope that there's a lot more changes that we're not seeing in the beta, because I can pretty much say to you, a lot of the stuff that I was playing with my characters, I tried both a Frieza guy, and alongside I tried a Saiyan, and I really wasn't feeling too much of the difference like for that, but generally, a lot of people got to look forward to the pre-order bonuses. You are going to be able to play as Goku Black, like if you pre-order the game, and they've shown from Season Pass they're going to be showing some Dragon Ball Super characters as well, so that is something to very much look forward to. Kind of wish that they were in the base game itself, so I don't think we're really going to have anything about them in the main game, but it clearly shows that they want to do stuff later on, like they want to do stuff from the Resurrection of F movie. I think that's pretty much confirmed, and the fact that they're going to add a lot more to the story, the main like storyline, which I really hope that's something that they're going to be doing a little bit later on. But overall, would I recommend Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for people that want to get this game? I generally think even if you haven't played Xenoverse 1, you're not going to be missing out too much. I think you can still get into this game and enjoy it if you want a good, fantastic Dragon Ball game. I think like the improvements they have done, I am very much looking forward to the History of Trunks like special being animated, and that gorgeous animation that they have for this. However, I do have to say, like, the combat, I really, apart from it being a little tiny bit cleaned up, like, and honestly, from what, like, the beta showed us, we still don't know, it generally just felt like the same game, and I feel like some people might not want that, so if anything, if there are some people who are very, like, they don't have a lot of money, I would say wait a little while for this, and maybe actually wait until the fact that there might be a price drop. Me personally, I'm going to be getting this day one. I want to play this with friends. We had a lot of fun playing this game, and definitely I think that's going to be a theme for that, where we just want to do that, had some enjoyable stuff, and it's been a while since a good anime fighting game and all that has come out, and I generally think, like, you know, we had stuff like fun with like J-Stars, we've had some enjoyable moments with some of the One Piece games, and I definitely hope that Xenoverse 2 is going to bring in a lot more people, because Xenoverse is goddamn popular. Xenoverse 1 did so good, and I'm kind of hoping that this one does good as well. But from what it sounded like, it's super characters, apart from Black being like a pre-order character, it sounds like we're not going to have any cutscenes or anything with them. It's very too early to say about that. But overall, I am very excited to see what they're going to be doing with, like, later on with the material in the game. That is all from me, though, so thank you much for watching. As always, hope you enjoyed this in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys, though, next time.